How we doing, guys? It's been a while, but we wanted to bring you kind of a recap of our offseason, if you will. And then the UFL starts next week, so we'll be ramping up our DFS coverage for the UFL. But we didn't want to just leave the NFL hanging, and we wanted to, kind of familiarize ourselves with the process. And we were thinking we'll keep our normal Friday schedule for a lineup builder. So next week, we'll either go with Thursday night probably or Thursday sometime or Friday like normal. I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter as well. But that's what that looks like. But really, I just wanted to kind of shoot through some of this news, catch up with the guys and see how we were doing. So, Gov, Donnie, how are we?
It's been a nice little break. It's been good.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
I almost forgot how to do it. Like, it took me a while. I'm like, wait a minute.
This has probably been our longest break in like 3-4 years. So, yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as Donnie did drop out, I think his audio is good. Like he was having some audio issues during our NFL shows, but I think this.
Oh, good. I had a problem right before we started too. Like this is just where is it? The technical issues are fine. We're here. We're there.
So Donnie wanted to bring up free agency first. I guess I was surprised by the Kenneth Walker move, but I like it. Like I didn't expect it, but it made sense. Like as soon as it happened, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. He can now be.
I can't say I like it because I didn't want the Chiefs to like get something they needed and be good again real quick. So I can't say that I like it, but like, does it fit? Sure. Did the Chiefs need to move on from all the Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Pacheco running backs they've been using and Kareem Hunt? Yes.
Yeah.
Does this do that? Sort of, yeah.
And maybe it's because he was at Michigan State. Like I saw how good he was in college. I just felt like his potential was never maxed with Seattle, and then he had like a few good splashes, like including the Super Bowl. He like that was his best like breakout performance. Like even having that touchdown get called back, like that was his moment to win MVP, and they called that back. Like I'm like, this is the potential I always saw from him in college. Then he flashes. He becomes like one of the rare MVP candidates to actually be a free agent, and then he leaves the Chiefs, which is obviously a marquee team. So it's just a weird like offseason for him, but I'm excited to see what it does.
It's just such a perfect fit. I love Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs. We've never seen Mahomes with a real running back, really. I mean, Kareem Hunt when he was younger, but that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, Pacheco had that, 2 years maybe, but we haven't seen him with a superstar running back. And I don't know if we really consider K9 that, but he's an upper echelon back that we haven't seen with Mahomes. And just with Andy Reid, since Jamal Charles was the last good one he's had, the offense is going to be so different.
I mean, I'm addicted to football. It should be no surprise to you guys. We're covering the UFL. Like, we're addicted to football. The thing I keep hearing, and the reason I think it's such a good fit is because he's such a good pass catcher. And like Donnie was saying, Mahomes hasn't really had this kind of solidified running back. The fact he can catch passes so well, I think, is what marries the Chiefs connection so well. Because Andy Reid's always been able to use kind of that scat back really well. So that's what's got me excited. I do think, though, to go back to Gov's kind of tampering is I think he's going to get overdrafted in best ball. I got to be honest.
Well, here would be my question, best ball wise.
Okay.
Is Brashard Smith Zach Charbonnet?
I think you could get him in the 20th round. Right now.
I don't.
That's the best ball question I want answered. Not what kind of value can I get on Ken Walker. He's probably going in the top 5-6 rounds. He's going to be easily a top 15 running back to take.
I would say Smith is going undrafted, Gov. So, like, maybe you should be drafting now if you want to take.
Like, who is the backup? He clearly is the guy they like. They wanted to get him in last year, but they also had no running back who truly was breaking away ahead of him. So it's like if he could beat out old Kareem Hunt and Pacheco, sure, let Brashard Smith play. But they also have him on the roster on that deal. They should try to use him. And we also know that Seattle didn't want to give Ken Walker all of the work. They only did it the last 2 games because they had to. And it worked out and won them the MVP.
I think based on his pedigree and like what everyone knows statistically about Kareem Hunt and how good he is in short yardage, I think everyone would assume that Hunt will take the second role. But to your point, Smith is kind of more dynamic. He could easily fill that role. I think he's going undrafted right now, Gov. So if you wanted him, this might be the chance to
See,
take
late round pick, I could easily see that. With everyone being hyped on Ken Walker, the reason you get Ken Walker is because you don't trust Kareem Hunt and stuff. So why not use the dude they were already using last year and hope he has a spike week? Now, I'm not saying I draft Rashard Smith early, but like,
no.
He should definitely be on. If he's going undrafted, that's wrong. I'll say that.
Especially before the draft. Like, we can't predict like where people are going to go before.
Agreed.
For all we know, the Chiefs are going to draft somebody in the 4th round, and he ends up being the backup running back, and this is a pointless conversation.
Yes.
So,
also, though, Donnie, to your point, why I don't like drafting teams this early, because people will take chances on rookies based on the potential, like, oh, if they get the perfect landing spot. So you see rookies get overdrafted at this point in the process.
There's always at least 2 guys like Tootin who comes up in the late draft that ends up being like, oh wait, this guy can fight for a starting job. Who's to say the Chiefs don't find one of those guys? I think the more interesting conversation, if we're talking running backs in like a backup role, is where's like an Alvin Kamara going to be drafted? If you can get Alvin Kamara in like the 14th round.
Well, everyone's so far thinking he's going to retire, Donnie. Like, there's like a lot of speculation that he's basically going to retire because his role will either be diminished so much with the Saints, and he apparently doesn't want to play anywhere. I don't necessarily buy it. I would still draft him because I do think he'll end up somewhere.
He's on the non-draft list for me this year. I won't have any more of him on my teams.
Funny enough, Alvin Kamara is on some kind of podcast tonight. I think it just started like an hour ago. With I think it's Teron Armstead. So maybe something crazy will come out of that, but I doubt it. Until I hear him say like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to retire," I think being in a backup role behind someone like Etienne's perfectly fine, unless he just loses out to Neal, which is possible.
You draft more teams than I do typically. Do you draft at this time of year? Because like I said that.
I don't even start drafting until like June.
If we were going to start drafting at this point, do you think like there's a big advantage to like guessing where rookies are going to go? Like, is that how you would handle it? Like, where you just like
you have to handle it that way because you are like there is no definitive thing. Like, I don't care if they're the number 1 overall pick. You don't know that they're going there.
Yeah. I guess I'm just trying to figure out the like. I know there must be a plus EV strategy because people do it. Like, is it like the college tryhards? They're like, I know how good Mendoza is. I know. Like, they start speculating how good he's going to be in the Raiders offense.
Those aren't even the guys you would even want to take early. Like, even a rookie quarterback, you're not taking that early. They're like, the guys you're trying to hit on is like,
who's like Colin Tate or whatever.
Who's that? That's the guy you want to try to find.
You got to find that rookie receiver, the rookie running back. I know there's Jeremiah Love.
Who's that first-round receiver that you need to go grab?
There's like 4 first-round receivers that are big body touchdown machines potentially coming out, and if you can get that right.
And that was last year too. But you didn't know where Tet or Ibuka or any of these guys were going to go.
So I just don't know if there's a big advantage because even if you're like a huge college guy, you're still projecting so much into the future of like where they land because they could be a good college prospect, but you still got to hope they get in the right position.
I think the only place that's like safe to start drafting where you can project a little bit is the day after the draft ends. It would be the earliest I would ever draft, and I think that's too early. I need rookie minicamp.
I wait until training camp. Yeah, I wait until the end of the first round of training camp. So it might even be like 4th of July when I start.
Yeah, so like right around that rookie minicamp part, like who's looking good as a rookie coming out of.
Let me see June training camp. Let's see what happens there. Boom, then I'll start drafting.
Yeah, and that's where I like to go as well. But I could see the argument of, oh, I'm going to get on stock on this guy early, the 5th rounder random receiver that I watched for 3 years.
Yeah, I won't do heavy drafting either. I'll draft every couple of days. I might do a draft, or I might do a draft with the buddies in Discord every a night here or there. It'll be August when actual like preseason and training and easy training camp happens, and I can get training camp videos on teams. That's when I'll really start drafting. That's when I started getting heavy on guys like Woody Marks last year, on Jalen Coker last year.
But I do like the best ball discussions this early because I do find the conversation to be very interesting. And then you get people's real take on free agency, you know, like whether they actually think, you know, X player is going to make a difference. Like, I do like that discussion because it adds some weight to it. But personally, I would not draft before, you know, the 4th of July, probably.
Yeah. Is there any moves specifically? I know we were talking about the, I wouldn't even say moves. Is there any team specifically that's just like blown your mind so far on what they've been able to do? Because for me, unironically, that team's been Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh they've so many acquisitions, make so much sense for them. And I usually hate how Pittsburgh looks, but you get Pittman in the door, you keep Cam Hayward, you got Jamal Dean, Rico Dowdle comes there. There's so many good moves that just make so much sense for what they're trying to do. And Dowdle and Warren, that's a 1-2 punch that I can buy into.
Except that they're going to be coached by Arthur Smith. So, yeah, like, who's Tyler Algier? Which one's Tyler Algier? Because that's probably the one you want. So, I thought the same thing, and then I remembered Arthur Smith, and then I realized, I get no use out of either of these motherfuckers all year.
I'm going to be honest.
It's all going to Pat Fryer move. What are you talking about?
Like, I like some of their moves, Johnny. You're not wrong. Like, the value move they made, like getting Rico is good.
Getting Michael Pittman with, like, they've got great weapons. They've got great running backs, and the offense is going to run through Pat Fryermuth and Jodu Smith and Darnell Washington just like it did last year.
And we still don't know who the quarterback is. I'm running on the assumption Aaron's playing next year for him.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be old man Rodgers as soon as he gets back from the ayahuasca journey and finds himself.
But even if we give him that, we're giving them the Rodgers-McCarthy duo again, which we know that they were like sitcom like rivals. Like, they can play buddy happy-go-lucky right now, but we know they've been at each other's throats. I mean, it's not hard to be on Aaron Rodgers' hit list, literally. But I mean, McCarthy's already been there a couple times, and like, I don't know. I just, like, they made a lot of good bargain moves. I want to be happy for them. I would have loved Kyler Murray to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, or something that was like, well, that fits Arthur Smith's run style, or maybe they're just going to lean really heavy into this like fun offense. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers gets me excited at all. Like, even if the offense is better, like, I don't know, man.
Aaron is not explosive for sure, and I get that. But he is efficient. He's not going to turn the ball over. That offense will be viable in fantasy. Will it boom? Probably not. But it will be pieces that you have to pick apart every so often.
I don't like
if Aaron's the quarterback.
The Mike Tomlin Voodoo Magic was kind of a fun storyline, and it got a little bit out of control in terms of a narrative and just kind of something kind of fun, I guess, or just like the gimmick. I felt like got out of control, but there was something to it. Like, he did bring a command to that team, a calmness to that team, and just a consistency. I don't know if they got enough magic with McCarthy. Like, he doesn't seem like a good like chemistry guy to me. Like, Aaron Rodgers could really pull a diva card here, I feel like, and just ruin this team's chemistry. No matter how
much hate each other. Didn't like
they ended on awful terms. They ended on awful terms. Yeah, and I don't understand why Rodgers wants to come back to that. But hey, listen, he's a weird guy. We all know that. He has an imaginary wife.
What if Rodgers signed with Minnesota this year with what they have right now? That'd be
I love Kyler to Minnesota. Let's not put any voodoo on that.
Donnie, she's allegedly a very private woman. A very private woman.
And that's fine, but I don't buy it.
Well, Aaron Rodgers' quote says you should fuck off and mind your own business.
And that's fine, and I won't.
Because he's married to a wife with, her name is Brittany with an I, not like Mahomes. Her name is Brittany with an I. So.
Okay.
I feel like we would have seen him once.
I'll say this.
All right. Go for it, Logan.
Tua has a better year than Aaron Rodgers this season.
Tua will definitely play games.
Yeah, he
for
will
the
play
top of the
games.
season.
Definitely.
So,
I think having two left-handed quarterbacks does help. We forget that Tua was pretty good before like the last few years. And if you look at
Tua had one good year, and that one good year was carried by one good game.
And
I went back and looked. Those 2 seasons were average minus one good game in one of the 2 years. Like, they weren't bad, but
that's all you need
basically
sometimes.
League average. They were not like, he wasn't throwing 300 and 400 and triple touchdowns every game. But yeah, 250 and 2 consistently.
But you can live with that.
Except with that one 70-point game. Yes.
In the NFC South, do you really need much else? Now, let's be honest. The bar is 10 wins next year in the NFC South. The Panthers are probably going to run away with that division.
I was about to say, I am low key very, very happy with what we are doing. The one thing, our team looked very good at the end of the year, and the one thing we had none of was a pass rush, and we have now. Just the first thing we did was go for pass rush and solidify the defense with Lloyd and Phillips. Like, I still need to see what we draft, but I am low-key very happy and very optimistic about the Panthers next year. Like, I think 10 wins the division. I think we're a 12-win team.
Yeah, it might be.
As like the center, like I need another offensive lineman to feel happy, but I think we're right up there.
So my only thing with my only issue with that division is everyone got worse besides the Panthers. The Panthers are the only one who I think has taken a step up. The NFC South, I mean, we saw Mike Evans leave, we saw Tyler Algier leave. We've seen a lot of leaving. We saw Darnell Mooney leave. The only people who's made good additions consistently, it feels like, has been the Panthers. So theoretically, they should be better and run away with us.
Yeah, it took me a while to get there, but I really like what the Panthers have done. I felt like every move made sense. I mean, you guys know, like, Gov's a fan of the Panthers, obviously he's going to fanboy, but I've always liked Eric Eager. He kind of started off as a fantasy guy, used a lot of his math nerd calculations and analytics to become a fantasy guy, because what was really cool about Eric Eager is he could use his math knowledge and his number for statistics, and he could make it interesting, and he was willing to play gimmicks and do fun things with fantasy football. And so he got known for geeks like me. And then he went over to the Panthers and just like helped them build a team. So they do things very unique over there. I think they made some really smart moves that are under the radar, like really good, and got good contracts. That's the one thing about the Panthers that really stuck out to me was, yeah, they spent money in areas of need, but you didn't make any foolish moves. You didn't overspend for anyone. I thought all your moves made sense.
Phillips was a little overpay considering the production he's been giving, but you got every free agency addition's a little bit of an overpay, so you got to live with it. Yeah, but I think the move made sense. You had to get a guy like Phillips, so why not just go out there and pay him?
Yeah, we needed a passer. Like, would I have preferred? Like, honestly, if we traded for Crosby, I still wouldn't be unhappy. Just gonna say it. Like, we can never have too few pass rushers.
Because now it looks like the Raiders are going to keep him, so no one knows if that's like a keep because he's injured and they want to heal him up. And then
they are trying to get as much as they possibly can.
Yeah.
I think
that's a plus.
him, but now there's no possible way they're getting multiple firsts.
No way.
Even if like they can come out and show that the Ravens should be like sued by the league for fraud. They're still not getting 2 firsts.
No, the only thing is, like, most people are upset at the Ravens, not the Raiders. Like,
no, that's what I mean. And like, well, yeah, they reneged on the deal, even though like you're doing a physical on a dude who is a month and a half into a knee surgery recovery. He's not going to pass any normal physical.
And but the Ravens have done this so many times in their history, so it's just like everyone kind of expects it from them at this point. You know,
I would actually push back against that. I don't think any organization has ever really done this.
No, they did.
There's definitely not an organization that has like reneged on this deal very much recently. I wouldn't say honestly, the Ravens are perennially known as a perennially good organization. This is a massive tarnishment on a record that has been very good for 20 years, 25 years.
They pulled out of a deal. And they've done it 3 times in the last 10 years. I think it's 10 to 12 years of pulling out of a deal late and then changing it for somebody else, which they did it with Hendrickson now, Hendrickson Crosby. They did it with Michael Crabtree once, and I don't remember the third one, but there was 3 examples that were going around the internet, and I just
was it Doomerville? It might have been. The
Crabtree one was legitimate damaged goods. He didn't play for anyone.
No. It was Crabtree became a free agent, so they terminated the agreed upon contract that they had with somebody else and then signed Crabtree. I believe that's how it went. So weird. But they said he didn't pass a physical. Maybe the line for a physical is just really high, and if you can't pass it, you're gone. And fair, maybe, but when it's consistently them doing
again, they're allowed to do that technically by the rules. So I'm not gonna ding them for that. But
they might be right.
A lot of agents and players might not want to deal with the Ravens anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Gov. You have the right to do it, but you're gonna tarnish your reputation if you do it.
It's not like Baltimore is a great place to live. If you're not wanting to come there to win a title with Lamar, now there's less incentive to go there.
Yeah. So there's a cost to it, and like you said, they waited so long to renege on the deal too. I feel like that's what it kind of spurred me the wrong way.
They waited till Hendrickson's price ironically came out that it was cheaper than expected. That he wasn't getting paid $30 million. He was only getting $25. The day, literally 10 hours later, all of a sudden Crosby's deal fell through, and we're going to give Hendrickson $28 million.
That's my problem with it. To me, you kind of dinged your reputation. I can't hold you.
No. It all looks bad. It's not a good look at all in any way.
Yeah.
And them coming out and saying, no. The plan was to have both.
That was
the Crosby physical just didn't look good. Nah.
Yeah, you're lying to us.
If you do that, then you don't have money to fill the holes from the guys like Lindenbaum and that who left. Nah.
Yeah.
Don't believe you.
Speaking of which,
I don't think they expected the pull of John Harbaugh to get all those guys that used to be Ravens to come to the Giants.
Fuck. The little dudes that went, likely the fullback, Ricard, all those dudes were going to be Harbaugh. That's like Dobbins going to the Chargers for that year. That's like a couple of the dudes who were on the Chargers that first year.
Speaking of Chargers in Harbaugh's, Keaton Mitchell also went to the Chargers. So another guy, former Raven, one of Harbaugh's guys, went to his brother.
Exactly. Those dudes are just Harbaugh dudes. They were going to go there.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good, interesting pickup.
Now, what you could investigate is the collusion of likely not signing a huge deal with Baltimore in the year that John Harbaugh decides to leave and go to another team, and then likely can sign there. If you wanted to say there might have been a conspiracy last year for likely not to sign a deal.
And then they signed Andrews, which was weird.
That's what I'm saying. There was no reason to sign Andrews. Everyone figured that if there was a tight end deal for Baltimore coming through, it was going to be extend likely your young dude. Andrews will be gone soon.
If you remember,
then you have to extend Andrews in the middle of the year. Something seemed fishy about that and thing. And now likely he's a Giant.
If you remember last year it was, we're looking to shop Andrews in the middle of the draft. It was Andrews might be going to be traded in the second round next year or last year, and no deal happened, whatever. So you were looking to move off him, and then no one gave you an offer, so you signed him to a big extension that's clearly out of his market. It was weird.
Makes sense. But now if you're locking up the tight end that works with you, even if he's a veteran, because you're not going to be able to keep your other dude because he's going with your head coach when you get rid of him at the end of the year.
I don't really mind some of the collusion as long as it's obvious and fair play. He's just a Harbaugh guy. I don't mind some of that.
Like the fullback. The fullback doesn't matter. Patrick Ricard going to the Giants means absolutely nothing.
Ricard affects games, to be fair. Let's not act like he doesn't affect
games. And so does Kyle Juszczyk. But if Shanahan left for Arizona and Juszczyk signed there, it would be no big fucking deal. I would be fine with it and expect it.
Oh no, of course.
It's not collusion when that happens. That's just.
I don't think having a relationship is collusion.
That's
having
exactly
a relationship is not collusion.
You said it better than me, Donnie. When you already have a relationship, I'm okay. Like
the basis of collusion is a relationship. You can't collude with someone you don't have a relationship with. So there's a catch-22 there, but I'm inclined to agree with you. But there is a catch-22 there.
Listen. If he happens to call about an upcoming free agent's family and says, "How you doing? You know, I just got this new job."
It happens to be that he happens to see a situation over there where the grass is greener.
And I know that's
I got you.
I know it's technically illegal, and I know it's a gray area, but it's kind of what Gov was saying. It's like, yeah, you can go back on Crosby's deal, and you can do these things sometimes by the letter of the law for the negative and the positive, but it carries through for many years. Like the Patriots, I know this will be a sore subject for Donnie. They carried a Spygate, a kind of a bad reputation, and some of that was not deserved, but it was like the commissioner was out to prove a point.
The Spygate was deserved. We deserved that. They told us like 17 times, cut it out. We did that.
That's what I mean. Like, but when you build that reputation,
it was crap though.
That's exactly it, though, Donovan. You can't complain about either, because once you build that reputation, no one feels bad for you. That's kind of my point, and so that's what the Ravens have to watch out for. What did you guys think about Tyler going over to the Raiders? Because I love this move. I know there was talk about how he's paid like a left tackle, but like I think he was clearly the best offensive lineman. I don't care if he was in the interior. Like if you think he's just as good as an interior blocker as like most offensive linemen, whether that's right tackle, left tackle, center, I don't really care if you think he's like elite, like a Hall of Fame worthy. And I think he is. So I think he's worth every bit of that price, and I'm okay with him setting the market.
No, see, my only problem with it is, and I don't even want to say it's a problem, but if you set that market, you know what you're doing for the rest of the league now. So if you're going to be the ones to set the market at $28 million, and Creed Humphrey's coming up soon, I'm sure. I know he recently got an extension, but you get one extension done, and the next one's right around the corner. So you know what you're doing, and you got to be careful with how much you're willing to overpay. Linderbaum, you probably could have got for $23 million. That's $6 million over what anyone else is offering him every single year. But sometimes you got to guarantee just a guy. And that's what they did. They guaranteed their guy, and he's going to be the anchor of that offensive line. Who knows? It could be a Manning Saturday situation of as long as he's good enough. That's all that matters.
It fits every identity move you would want. From what they want to do, like Kubiak likes that like power run game. He likes that like play action game. You're likely going to draft a first round quarterback that you're going to invest a lot of money into. So who do you want to build that chemistry with? Like you mentioned with Saturday, you want to build that chemistry with an offensive lineman. So it was a lot of money, but at least that makes sense. I hate free agents moves where you just pay a guy to pay a guy, or you just pay a name. Or you're like, well, I need a defensive tackle, so you sign a defensive tackle. I feel like this move, it made sense. It was a lot of money, but I'm okay spending a lot of money when you're trying to set an identity.
Is it worth paying somebody $10 million over the next highest paid position? I guess is a real question.
I think it is.
They deemed it was, so that's fine. To be fair, we've seen it not work out. Granted, different situation, a lot of extra circumstances. Deshaun Watson got paid a crazy amount, trend-setting contract, we thought, guaranteed money, and it failed, and now guess what? No one's getting guaranteed money like that. So you just have to know the risk you're taking when you do.
A different version of upgrading a team was like when Brett Holmes was like, I want to take Gibbs because I think Gibbs is a difference maker. Everyone like basically said he was a fool for doing that for the Lions. But he viewed it as I need a culture change. I need to like reset the roster. I need to basically put someone new in that position. I think that is what they're doing with Tyler. They're saying like our offensive line was historically bad. We are not even going to fuck around with trying to rebuild this offensive line. We're just going to bring in this golden standard piece, and we're going to plug a rookie in, and we're going to see what goes. I kind of like the boldness in that move.
I am very interested in who's going to be their backup running back. They've been very clear and vocal. It's not just Genty, it's Genty and whoever comes in with them. So we'll see what they decide to do there. I don't know if that's a team I want to invest too much in best ball, just looking forward, because I don't like the receiver room. I love Mendoza. We know Mendoza is going to be their quarterback. And how much of a two-headed
Genty, that's about it.
No, but it's going to be a two-headed backfield. Kubiak's been very clear about that. So do you want to take Genty?
I do.
Maybe his stock is so low. Genty. Yeah, maybe his stock is so low, and I'm overestimating because for me, I think he should still be going in the second round. I don't care how bad he looked. When he gets this team in front of him, when it looks good, it's going to be good. So if he's going in the third round, I am taking Genty almost every time.
Like, you got to remember, they had David Montgomery and Gibbs last year for the Lions, and Gibbs still ended up being one of the highest producing running backs in the league. So if Genty takes some snaps off, that actually might help him out.
All you need is like 1 or 2 spike games year 2. Yeah. Like, even if they split, if Genty has a 40-burger fantasy game, because the line's better 1 game a year, like, he'll be a top running back. He'll be a good best ball pick because he's going to go later than that.
We know Kubiak is going to be one of those coaches that are even. We saw it with K9 and Charbonnet. That was a two-headed backfield that's consistently.
But we are going to have to take shots on backfields like that, because like it's not going to be as obvious as like hindsight 2020 from last year, where it's like, oh yeah, Jonathan Taylor's a workhorse that no one was taking early. Why couldn't he have just been that dude? And he was for half the year. Same thing with James Cook. There's a workhorse. Why couldn't he just have been that guy? Like, there's not going to be that many dudes this year like that.
I'm going to tell you what, Bijan Robinson. No, Robinson. I want Bijan Robinson now that Algier's out of there.
That might be, like, honestly, with the people who left, it's going to be the NFC South guys. It's going to be Bijan, Bucky, and Chuba.
Oh,
no. Are going to have free reign over their backfields.
Are we going to just be one of those people that do this again? Are we going to stack this NFC South division again because we all like it again? Please stop.
Well, I would take Gibbs too, because he has a clear, like, David's out there, but Gibbs is already going to go high. I think you can still get a good value on a guy who might open it up. Like, Bijan Robinson probably deserves to be a top.
Bijan's going to be a top 5 pick minimum. He's probably going to be top 3, but like he's definitely going to be top 5.
I hope so. A bounce back Saquon year. Let's see.
I can see that. Did no, they have not signed a guy to replace Algier. So you expect, again, this is just projecting, but you expect them to draft somebody to fill that spot. Who is the backup now in Baltimore? Does Henry have a backup yet? I don't believe he does.
No, I know from a rookie standpoint, a lot of people like that, like bruising back from Washington, who basically runs like Kareem Hunt. He's like a really good short yardage back. I know the Lions have been in on him. Apparently, the running back class isn't too bad in this draft, so a lot of people are waiting.
I mean, even when
A-Chain's probably going to have a monster year.
Which one?
Shut the fuck up.
You thought you were going to
No. This one is even more egregious. Spell it that way, because there's no version of English where those letters make A-Chain. Ever. Not a single one. There's not German or Latin where those letters make that sound.
God,
no, that is not his name. Go fuck himself. He's an ignorant motherfucker.
Well, are you telling me you don't like Trevor A-Chain of the Carolina Panthers?
Trevor Etienne Jr. is fine. His brother is mentally ill.
Like, this show just got X-rated.
One plays for Carolina.
No. Look. Isn't it funny, though, that we get this name pronunciation on the Saints, and after the year they drafted Tyler Shuck, and that was a whole big name debacle. Now we get Travis going over to the Saints. I'm like, can we talk about anything other than names over here for the Saints? Like, they actually have a future. Like,
I think it's fair. He's corrected his name, and I'm gonna try my best to go after it.
His name is not pronounced Etienne. like I can understand that with all like the way it is spelled, like okay, it is probably not actually pronounced Etienne, but it's been very easy his whole life to just tell people.
Yeah.
I understand and can agree and not have any back push on that, but it is not pronounced H-A.
Look, I have
it might be Etienne, or it might be Etienne, or Etienne. Might be something weird with some pronunciation, but it is not A-chain. It is not A-chan. It is not 4chan. It is nothing like that.
4chan? Come on, Goff.
Look,
boy.
I
I've been gone a while.
skills.
Trust me, I have to get some of this off.
Yeah, I have a lot of skills. Pronunciation is not one of my skills. I will try hard, and I will have to try because, like I said, it's not one of my skills. If you tell me how to pronounce your name, I'll try, but there's no guarantee. I do like what Kellen Moore has done with the Saints, so I think that is the competition for the Panthers, but I do think the Panthers are by far better.
Yeah. Well, where do you stand on how the Lions offseason is? Because I'm super impressed with my Patriots offseason. You get Vera Tucker on a super team-friendly deal, like that third. Basically, a lot of his contract and his money lock-in is set with how many snaps he plays, which is the only issue with Vera Tucker is are you healthy? So you put a bunch of incentives saying, hey, you have to play. That's huge.
I honestly I'll go on your first point, Donnie, and Gov can pick up. And if we circle back to the Lions, so be it. I like what you guys did at the wide receiver position with Romeo Doubs. I really like that move a lot.
And the door is very much open for that A.J. Brown trade. But I don't want to get too much into it. If it happens, it happens. I'll be ecstatic, but I don't want to even think about it.
Speaking of like benefits for the Lions, I actually think that was the best benefit for the Lions is actually the Packers losing Romeo. I think that they've at least Packers fans, from what I know of that like fan base, they've underappreciated Romeo. And I think they're going to miss him tremendously. Like, I think he was actually like a really good, consistent piece.
Romeo was the only guy who stayed healthy on that old receiver.
Yeah,
he was
I think
huge.
They're going to miss that because Watson's still injury prone to me. You know, Reed gets hurt a lot. I like Reed. He's a Michigan State guy. I've seen a lot of him, but he doesn't really have the body type to like hold up in the league. I think they're going to miss Romeo. I think Romeo actually is like better than Stephon Diggs. So I was pretty impressed with the Patriots did there.
Yeah, and again, that's a lot of incentives. I know it can get up to $80 million over 4 years, but that's if he hits those incentives. Right now, it's only 68. So two of their biggest deals were incentive based. You get Kevin Byard. That's always going to be a great move. Now that secondary is disgusting. There's another secondary I want to talk about too before we get out. Reggie Gillum, Josh McDaniels, fullbacks, whatever. Gillum's a great fullback, but it's a fullback. And Draymond Jones just replaced Chason with another guy who's Chason.
Isn't that like the sixth fullback we mentioned on the show? Like,
yeah, we've talked a lot about fullbacks today. Shout out to a dying breed. But no, Gillum will be used in the pass game weirdly with Josh McDaniels for sure. So not that it's anything we should really put stock into. It's just going to like dip into every so often. 1 week he'll have a random game where he has 2 catches and we'll be like,
I like what I've seen from Mays, Gov. I think he was an underappreciated center from what I've seen. We missed Frank Ragnow. This seems like a good move for me, but some people were saying like, oh, he's not much of much, and the Lions overpaid for him. I do know Brad Holmes will overpay for an offensive lineman, especially the interior. He values guards and centers a lot more than most people. I think that's why we drafted Frank Ragnow as high as we did. Obviously, no one knew what Frank was going to turn himself into one of the best centers in the league. But I like this move here. We at least identified a need, and we actually attacked it. They might go with a guy like Crosby still. I know Brad Holmes believes in like loading up on back-ended free agent talent. So like he believes letting the first guys get overpaid and then scooping up a bunch of guys in that third or second tier. So we could still see some signings.
That's just kind of what you do when you have all added to your stars already. I mean, you kind of have to look for that tier.
and I guess that's what he's done, and so he's just continuing that. But I'm just saying he believes in that philosophy. That was always his direction. It's like I'm going to draft my stars and then backfill. So I like to quit a lot. Was there any other moves that you guys want to mention from a?
I guess not from a DFS perspective, but maybe my favorite offseason, just because I think this position is so important, and it's a team that was so desperate at this position. What the Rams corner to get McDuffie and to get Justin Watson paired back together. That was their one position that everyone knew. Just attack their corners, and you'll probably beat them.
See, I actually think that helps the DFS landscape, though. That makes that offense more efficient. Like, if you don't have to worry about scoring all the time, that actually makes, like, Matthew Stafford takes less chances. I think that's actually good for.
Well, we're not going to have as many high-scoring Rams games. You're going to just have, like, okay, we're holding people back. Now we can give it to Blake Corum, which I played Blake Corum a lot last year. We can give it to Kyron more. So we might see more of, like, you're going to play a lot more Rams running backs next year. But that secondary, my God. You talk about the best moves of the offseason is just solidifying that secondary for the Rams, and obviously their biggest stepping stone, and Seahawks lost a decent amount offensively.
Yeah. I should leave it to Donnie to talk about defense.
No, I love defense. That cornerback room might be the best cornerback room in the league. Unironic.
That was a good upgrade. Like, again, that's like you're right. Like, what were the people doing against the Rams? Like, attacking their corners. You knew you could. Like, that's what I felt like with my Panthers. Like, what was the one thing we couldn't do on defense? We couldn't get after anybody. We couldn't get a pass rush. So we go and get Jalen Phillips. Like, some teams are out there being smart about this and have made good moves so far. I agree.
The only team that I think has been just terrible, bad offseason, oh my God, what are you doing, is Denver, because they literally aren't doing anything. It's not even a what are you doing, it's what are you going to realize that the offseason started.
Yeah.
To be fair, like, they were basically in the Super Bowl minus their quarterback breaking his ankle.
Yeah, I don't
like that. If you say that he's playing in that title game's a 50-50, especially with how it ended.
I agree with that. And to do nothing though.
Well, they don't have to do much.
They've released guys that made impact. You release a Dre Greenlaw. There was somebody else they released that was an impact player. So it's just you've gotten rid of guys.
But that's basically all you have to do. Like, all you have to do is replace the one or two things that have happened recently.
Yeah.
If you can rehab Bo Nix and fill those holes that happen right now with your draft and free agency in June, then Denver will be fine. But I also understand what you're saying. They haven't done shit to say we're going all in next. They haven't done anything to say that they're going all in next year, but they also were right there last year. So it's not like they needed to do much. Like, if Bo Nix doesn't get hurt and it's Denver that loses to Seattle in the Super Bowl, then no one's really saying anything. Because it'd be like, yeah, they were right there. You might be asking, like, if one specific thing happened in the Super Bowl. You would literally be micromanaging that. It'd be like, well, in the Super Bowl, Bo Nix couldn't throw to his receivers who couldn't catch. So maybe now everyone's talking about, even with Sutton in that, Denver needs to go out and get that free agent wide receiver. They needed the Devontae Adams of the year. Maybe they should be in the trade talks for A.J. Brown. But, like, they don't have to be doing that. That would just be the offseason talk. See, but I'm not against what Denver's doing right now.
I know that we
it's early March.
We expect their money to be a lot better than it is because Bo Nix is on that rookie contract, but we can't forget that they also are still paying Russell Wilson. I think it's $33 million this year. So they do have a legit quarterback room expense still with a rookie contract on the table. So it feels like they probably should have more money than they do.
And look, we can have the bingo board of who they should have done or what move they should have done to give you that vote of confidence. But I think all three of us would agree what they've done, their lack of moves, whether that just be, hey, we're going to try to rebuild, or hey, we're going to make this statement. Like the fact that they did nothing, kind of like, because then they feel directionless. They feel like they don't have a direction at all, and that's where my vote of confidence is like, if I don't know anything what you're doing, maybe you're not doing enough.
Who in your division has gotten worse? The answer is no one. The Chiefs have gotten better. The Raiders are getting better. And why is this last team slipping my mind? Chargers are getting healthy, which automatically makes them better. The two all-pro tackles will be back next year.
Yeah, getting that offensive line healthy is a big deal.
And they signed Cole Strange, who is another depth piece, which was something they needed on that offensive line. So the Chargers got better. Everyone besides you has done something to get better in a tough division. I know maybe the record.
All the teams that were behind you are doing something right now at the very beginning of free agency to start making yourself better. Whereas the team that won the division and was basically on the doorstep of the Super Bowl is waiting to see what they can do and be smart about it. Again, I agree with you somewhat. Denver needs to do something. They don't need to be stagnant. They don't even need to do a giant splash. But that's the thing. If they don't need to do a giant splash, then they don't need to do anything in the first week of free agency.
Mm-hmm.
I need a linebacker. I need something. Show me you're doing something. I just feel like it's...
I'm willing to give them to the draft. Now, if the draft doesn't look like they sparkled and did anything, or they've made a trade, now it's like, okay, you need this still. Go get it. What are you going to do? But I'm not like, you're like that now. I'll be like that mid-April. I'll be like that the 1st of May.
To be fair,
not 1st of March.
Who knows? Maybe they're still interested in a guy like Steph Diggs. They're going to wait for his stuff to go out, like the court. And they signed Steph Diggs, and I'm like,
Exactly. Again, they will see what they need. At this point, they won't know what they need until they see what they're going up against. Because right now, like I said, they were not having their quarterback snap his ankle on the last fucking play from basically a coin flip at the Super Bowl. So now you need to get your quarterback healthy and do one thing to make that coin flip, you getting to the Super Bowl again.
Could they be waiting on Bo Nix's health to decide where they want to go?
You can't.
You have to know that by now. Yeah. When you shut him down and didn't be like, we're going to tape him, you could have Brett Favre'd it.
Mm-hmm.
Taped that shit up, put a rod in it then, and just had him play in like a pseudo boot.
It would have been a bad move, but
it would have been a bad move. You could have fucking done it, and there would have been players 10, 20, 30 years ago who would have definitely said, I'll do that. There would have been linebackers and defensive linemen who would have played with the boot like that, no problem, just pushed off their left leg instead of the right. Like, no doubt that's something that you could have done. You did the smart move anyway by shutting him down. You know exactly what's wrong with the ankle. You know his timetable. You have a plan in place with Bo Nix. You're not waiting on nothing for him.
Yeah, no, Bo should be back week 1.
At this point, I think they're kind of smart because they're waiting to react. But I also understand, it's the Travolta meme. It's like,
Speaking of that kind of dazed and confused, two teams I felt like that overspent. I just want to mention because we talked about Denver not doing much. Two teams I felt like did too much were the Tennessee Titans. I know they have a lot of money. They have a young quarterback in Cam Ward. I don't understand what their moves were, though. I didn't like them.
They should trade back for A.J. Brown. That'd be fucking great. I'd love that.
That's the thing is I like some of their moves. Speaking of wide receiver, I want to love Short King Summer with Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm just like that move doesn't make sense to me.
Me and you are probably the biggest Wan'Dale Robinson's fans from the start. We love that guy, but I cannot give a guy that size that contract.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I like Alec Pierce, but I think he got a little bit of an over.
Oh, Alec Pierce. I think the Colts have had a worse offseason than Tennessee, to be fair. I'd much rather be Tennessee right now than the Indianapolis.
And but Pierce is another guy, to Gus' point. I like Pierce. He's young. He's flashy. He literally made like spectacular catches. Like he would be a great Madden player.
I was like 3 points away from getting me through to the final round of best ball. Oh, that monster game was almost had it. Oh God.
Yeah, he had like the generational success. I mean this in all sincerity. He had like generational success with storyline quarterbacks like Joe Flacco. Like he married very well with like older guys and like bought into the story and like he basically proved that he could play with any quarterback. Like he has all this potential. And then they just paid him as like the top 14 wide receiver in the league. And so now
and they got rid of Michael Pittman, so they're like, oh, okay, you are our number one. Boom, here.
Yeah, no, my only issue with it is if you were going to pay him, you should have paid him $25 million 2 months ago. Why was he not making $25 million 2 months ago? As soon as you were eliminated from the playoffs, come into my office and we're going to negotiate this contract today.
And Donnie, if he has the amount of emotional capacity to handle this much expected pressure, he should just become a negotiator for like the FBI or something. Like the amount of pressure that they are putting on this young man, like day after day, it is remarkable to me. I want to love him.
To be fair, I love what he said. When he was a free agent, before he signed any contract, he went on the air and said, you know what? If you're going to pay me $30 million, I'm going to give you $30 million in production. I don't want to just be the go ball guy. I don't want to just be the guy running straight downfield and catching the ball. Then that's fine. That's the attitude I want you to have. You're 6'3", 205, I think, which is a little small weight-wise. I'd like you to put a little more muscle on, but whatever. You know, that's not my business, and if you play at that weight, that's cool. But he doesn't – I think part of it is he doesn't look the part of a wide receiver one. Like I said, he's only like 210 pounds at most.
Maybe. Bonnie, maybe
it's not the white guy thing. It's not the white guy thing. We're not doing that. It is the fact that he's 210 pounds at best. And
look,
even listen to
at 6'3", you're that size. At 6'3", like Justin Jefferson's what, 6'3", 6'2", 225? 20 pounds is a big difference.
I'm even okay with making him the number one guy. Getting rid of why can't I think of his name? I didn't even like him. Pittman, yeah. Getting rid of Pittman, I'm okay with that. But then they overpaid. So now you're just putting so much, like I say, if he's got the amount of capacity to handle this much stress, he should just start working for the FBI or something, like a surgeon or
air traffic control.
Yeah, like I'm telling you.
I'm going to throw it out there now. Alec Pierce, Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor. They're all going to go overlooked in best ball this coming season.
Is Daniel Jones going to play? Is he going to play?
Well, they paid him like he's going to play.
They paid all of them like they're going to play all the fucking time. God damn it! Like they're all going to go.
No, but Danny was. You had to pay Daniel Jones that money if you wanted him to stay. That's the problem. So does Daniel Jones not play till week 8?
No,
dude. You could have called up Michael Penix and probably got it. Like you could have found other quarterbacks. They wanted Daniel Jones.
I agree they wanted Daniel Jones. And you know what? Shout out to the Gen Z Kirk Cousins, because that man has been paid. But, you know.
That's why we have generational gaps on this show, Don, just so you can make references like that.
I like what Daniel Jones did last year, but I sure as hell wasn't going to pay him that money. Sam Darnold's contract is very team-friendly, and they won a Super Bowl because of it. Daniel Jones is not making $45 million on my team.
Yeah, I hated that Daniel Jones became a meme on the internet for tripping that one time with the Giants. Like, I've been a Daniel Jones, like, believer. I wanted to see it.
I believe in the talent, but, man, after the injury history, I'm not signing up for that.
Yeah. I guess I'm like the Disney dad that's like, the kids go on vacation. You're like, did you have fun? Like, yeah, we had a great bit of fun, but we spent a lot of money. And you're like, okay, no worries, spend a little bit of money. And then I looked at how much money the Colts actually spent. And I'm like, whoa, I like all these guys, but you spent way too much money. We got a budget now for the rest of the year. That's the problem with the Colts. I like what they've done, but I just think they overpaid in every single way.
And we can't be the Falcons where you overpay for millennial Kirk Cousins instead of Gen Z Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And then also of a quarterback who's being overpaid by another team at the same goddamn time.
I think that's the problem. At least if you're going to spend money, spend on positions that you don't double pay. Like I don't get it.
And like I said, my only problem with the Alec Pierce contract is I knew he was going to get paid that money by somebody if he went to free agency. But if you were just going to be willing to pay him that anyway, you should have just paid him when he was yours alone. You know, and I'm so happy he resigned with the Colts. By the way, I would have cried if he signed to the Patriots for $34 million, like the reports were saying. I would have been so distraught.
He didn't get that this time.
He got 31 a year from the Colts, and they said he took a hometown discount. He got more from the Patriots, and someone said another team paid him more as well. The thought is probably the Niners, but we don't know who the second team is. If the Patriots would have paid him $34 million,
these numbers are lies then.
Yeah,
he got paid $31 million.
A 4-year, 114. That's 28.
They could be lies.
Maybe I saw the incentives included.
Incentives only get it to 116. That only makes it like 28.
Okay,
like this,
so
he's only getting like 20. Like 25 would have been like 4 years.
So I know the Patriots offered at least
100. So the extra 14 million is like 3 years. This is only like 28. Yeah, it's like 28.
Okay, so it's 28. The Patriots offered him 31. Then it was $3 million more than what the.
Now they're giving him 60 fully guaranteed.
Yeah, it's a guaranteed money. Look, I'll get us out of here on this. Where does Max Crosby go, and does Aaron Rodgers play for the Steelers?
What did we say? It was. I think he will play for the Steelers. What did we say the teams were down to? Because we were having the conversation money wise. I know the Bears are out because they don't have the money to anymore. There was a couple teams that were out. The Patriots are one that's still in, and there was somebody else.
He wants to go to the Lions because he played for Eastern Michigan. He has Michigan ties. He grew up as a Lions fan. The Lions are in because Hutchinson would love that addition. It would make his job a lot easier. I do know the Lions are in.
Commanders, Lions, and Pats are the only three teams that look like they can afford it.
Yeah,
so,
that's right. I knew that it was a defensive team, so it's Quinn. So it's Quinn of the Commanders who could make it happen.
So what's the real offer for him at this point? It's a second and a first and a second, I guess, would still be the that bar.
First and a third, maybe.
But will the Raiders even do that? At that point, I think you just keep Crosby.
A first another year from now, maybe. Right. It's not going to be great, but I think that's the thing. Now the Raiders are just waiting for the best offer.
Mm-hmm.
They probably had one or two decent offers that were just like the Ravens sitting.
And now the Cowboys were beat out. They offered a 1 and a 2 earlier this year.
I think that
early in the offseason.
I think that's what my reality TV show kind of mindset though is like. Now I want to see what happens because he's back with the Raiders. Like he can't possibly start or play with the Raiders. Right? He's got to be gone by week 1. He has to be, right?
He's got to be gone before training camp.
I think he should be gone, but who knows? Maybe I feel like Kubiak could talk him in. Let's be honest.
That'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting if he could make it.
At this point, I'll say I would call Crosby a draft day trade.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like one of those trades that's actually already done, but we don't know what it is until draft day. One of those type of moves.
No, it might be some blockbuster thing, like when Carolina traded their stuff for that, and you knew DJ Moore was going over. But so it might be like a day or two before, but it will be like he will now be a part of like a big draft package. Yeah, something like that. It'll be closer to the draft when it starts to move. Once other teams start feeling more confident about who everyone's taking.
Fair enough.
Then it will see.
Yeah, because really right now I think all we know is Mendoza's a Raider, and I don't know who's going number 2. I haven't heard anything like that yet. So we'll see. Interviews still are being done.
I really enjoyed this show. I like that we kind of hit on a lot of different things. We didn't go team by team. We didn't bore the people with this overdone. We're gonna, drop in and talk about every free agent. This is kind of a recap for us. We laughed. we didn't cry with you guys. We'll save that till Friday after you see our lineup, and then I'll start to cry when I realize I probably don't know as much about the UFL as I should know. But we'll bring that show to you before the Friday night games. I actually kind of like the UFL, how they have that Friday, Saturday. I think the split's nice, but some people they don't like it. But that's a bit of an edge we'll preview for the next show coming up. Was there anything else you guys want to mention before we get out of here?
Shout out Jason Tatum. That's all I got.
He is back. He did look a lot better.
Is he doing something right now that I'm not seeing?
No, he's not doing. He's just same thing. He's 20 points, kind of inefficient shooting still. He
just feels lucky to have him back. He's just
yeah, exactly. It just warms my heart. I know Devin Booker went off for 18 straight a little bit earlier, so that was cool, I guess. But
yeah,
I knew a blow game was coming. Like, I always hate it. God, just if we and the one time I'm envious of Boston. I wish we had a month to get Franz back into the rotation for us so that we can make a playoff run. Fuck. Jesus.
I did forget my Bama Adebayo take, but I can give you the cliff notes really quickly. He has nothing to apologize for.
Agreed.
One of the greatest performances I've ever watched. I don't care about the last 2 minutes being gimmicky.
I have my only criticism is I hate that the NBA has become a league where that doesn't happen more. Like even when Luka had his 70-point game, I don't think he took 45 shots. And you're never going to break any of these records not taking 45, 50 shots.
I agree with everything.
I'm sorry. And teams just aren't built that way or whatever. Nah, I'd love to see this more often, especially in the regular season.
My only complaint about it is they took him out for the last minute. Let's jack up some more shots for another minute.
They'd already hacked him for 3 minutes straight to get him free throws for the record.
And
again, Milt shot a shit ton of free throws shooting 100, so I don't have a problem with them shooting free throws. But now that he's got the record, and you only got the record really because you've been hacking him for 2 minutes, then okay, just sit him for the final minute.
This comes as a Lakers fan. I have no problem. The way he's handled the media is perfectly too. He's right. Kobe would do exactly the same thing. Kobe would have taken Kobe lived in the free throw line in his prime.
Up 30 with a minute left, Kobe would have sat down. He would have been fine.
But he would also criticize the league, because Bam did criticize the league and say, look, we might have a problem with the fouls, but the referees have a job. I have a job. All I did was do my job very well, and of course I scored that many points. Who's not going to score?
Yeah. The only one who deserves blame is the Washington Wizards for allowing 75 until you decide to start playing defense on them.
Yeah, he said double me.
No. I've watched Washington, unfortunately enough to know they were playing defense on him. That's the Wizards. That's
also
Wizards.
I know. You know how
Davis
I know that?
Trae Young are going to make that better. Oh my God.
You know how I know that? Because the very next Wizards game, they played the Celtics, and I just watched Nemanja Bjelica throw up 22 on him and a half.
Yeah. And me and Donnie.
The next night, Orlando played him, and Wendell Carter Jr. looked like a freaking monster. I was very, very much debating today whether or not to just play freaking I forgot who Washington played today. Hold on.
It reminds me of
the guy I should have played. I should have just played fucking Porzingis, and I'm a dumbass. I didn't. That's the reason my lineup's not good. Hello, I'm dumb. Thank you, universe, for making me not smart.
So wait, Porzingis went off on him now too?
Yeah, let's see. What does he have? Let me get. Hold on. Let me get.
35-4 with 3 blocks and.
Hey! He didn't start.
Exactly, he didn't even start.
Yeah, they're running some kind of wacky zone where they just leave the middle of the court wide open, apparently.
Yeah, they just leave the center open to do whatever the hell he
30
wants.
Points, 5 boards.
I've never
4 assists,
seen
3 blocks, 2 steals. Yep.
Kristaps Porzingis, 14 free throws for
I will
Pingus
scream
Pingus.
at least one player against Washington the rest of the year in DFS.
The rest of the year, yeah.
And
you
it
should.
better be someone over 7 feet tall.
Minimum one player, probably their power forward or center, or whoever the high usage big is for the team.
To go full circle, it's kind of like in the NFL where you have
It's the Pistons tomorrow. Cade Cunningham's going to have 20 assists. Get your
Fuck
Cade
you!
stats.
I'm playing Jalen Duren all fucking day.
Duren, yeah.
No, beef stew. Beef stew. Beef stew. Beef stew.
This is derailed so much.
No, beef stew's on sale.
I think this is how we end our podcast.
No,
like
they play back. They play the Pistons back to back. They play them tomorrow and then Thursday.
So we get a beef stew and a Tobias Harris game.
This has been a heated conversation, but
no, they're gonna sit during game 2, and we get a Paul Reed game. There we go. It's coming for.
Oh
it has
gosh!
been foreseen, and so it shall be.
My problem is just like the NFL. They might have a tush-push problem, but it's not the players' fault. They're doing everything legally. You can officiate it differently. You can blame coaching staff, but it's not Bam's fault. He deserves 83 points. With that being said, good night, guys. I'm glad I could have some fun with the guys. We'll be back on Friday to get more serious. We'll be more on the rails on Friday or Thursday, depending on when we join you. Good night.
No promises about the rails. Peace out, everyone.